because of tree damage. Barbara and Dick have been very proactive about trying to address this, and they had gone out and got a couple of estimates, one from Bob Brown at Precision Concrete, and the other one was from Sunup. Bob's estimate had come in a little bit cheaper than Sunup's had. However, he quoted this to them. He didn't quote it to the village, so we can't accept a bid to her. But the point being here is that if the property owner wants to undertake a sidewalk repair on a state highway, they have to go through the Department of Transportation and have to fill out an application, have to get approval, have to pay, Barbara said, $350 in fees. And I said, well, seeing as the village is going to be a partner in this because of tree damage, why not have the village be the one that contracts for the work, bills Barbara, as we did for Edith Thomas, for her part of the work, minus what we have to contribute. All we have to do then is call Department of Transportation and notify them we're going to do the work. There's no application process. They just tell us, okay. So that's up to the board to decide. I said I would bring it up to the board.
You got prevailing wage laws you got to deal with through the village.
Only if it's over a certain amount of dollars, correct?
No, prevailing wage laws have to be, it doesn't matter on the dollars. It's the bidding requirements on the
All right,
dollars.
well, we have to go to bid anyway, because she did this, we didn't.
But I'm just
So
saying on the
we'd have
costs.
to go out and post it anyway,
Right,
correct?
I'm just saying, if it becomes a village project, you got to deal with the prevailing wage laws.
Yeah, I understand that. So, it's up to the board to decide whether they want to go down this road or not.
Well, if it's prevailing wage, then it's a lot more money.
We don't know that.
It's prevailing wage,
Well,
whatever it is.
Precision gave us a prevailing wage bid across the street. So maybe it would be the same. For example, I mean, with Precision.
We don't know until we ask.
So we can go both ways and then see which one we like?
Do we have a percentage in our
Not
head
yet.
as to what we
You
think?
know, not yet.
Because it looks like it's largely the responsibility of the landowner.
The majority of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is some tree damage there.
Well, I think we should do what we did with the other property and bid it out to 3 companies and get them to provide the estimate of how much tree damage they think there is, and, average that out and use that as a way to determine our responsibility.
Like I said, I mean, I'm asking you guys if we want to go down this road.
Well, I think from a logistical standpoint, it certainly would make sense for us to be the lead player here, because obviously it would take the DOT out of it from the landowner standpoint. On the other hand, we have the situation with the prevailing wage, so if the landowner was the lead agency, we wouldn't have the prevailing wage situation. So basically, I think we'd have to take a look at both scenarios to ascertain what would be most cost-effective for the taxpayer.
I think we should bid it out, look at the process, and compare, and then decide.
Yeah, let's get the numbers and take a look at it.
Right?
That's fine.
Okay.
Is there an issue with collections? I mean, we're going to be collecting from the landlord. I guess we could still use that tax collection enforcement
Right.
mechanism if we need to.
They have that capability.
And
But
you
in
know,
this particular scenario, I don't think that's a fact.
I'm sure it's not going to be a problem.
The thing is too, I mean, if this bid comes in and it's not acceptable, we don't have to accept it. And we can always go back to Barbara and say, hey, look, it's more affordable to be done
For
this
them
way.
to do it directly.
Right,
You know?
Right.
Okay?
Let's
So
do
we
it.
need a motion to go out to bid then, correct? All right, I'll make the
I mean,
motion.
it's under your procurement policy. You just got to go out and get 3, whatever it is,
Good
3
faith
written
estimate.
bids under the procurement.
Attempt to get through. Yeah, okay. Any discussion?
I don't know if we need a resolution, though, do we?
I mean, you can get the bids. If the board wants to just authorize it, it's fine.
All right, forget it then. Withdraw the motion.
Rescind my second.
Get out of here. Anything else on streets?
Oh, just one more thing I forgot to mention. Grass clippings, the highway department is not allowed to pick up grass clippings due to DEC regulations, so please do not put out grass clippings. We'll pick up the brush, but not the grass clippings. Thank you.
One thing I would like to mention also, Fair Week is coming up. please do not put brush out on the streets during Fair Week. Please. Please.
Please.
Do you want to talk about the drain pipe behind the Nibble property?
Not yet, not till we figure the easement issue out. Okay, once we get that worked out. We're looking into easement issues off West Market Street down behind the Beekman Arms and the post office and all of that.
I mapped the location of the pipe on the maps if you want.
Yeah. So once we figure out what the easement issues are, then we're going to address how we're going to fix it. But until we know who we got permission to go to, you know.
Are we using a camera now or something like that?
Oh, well, the same company that we rented this truck from is going to bring a camera probably the end of this month and look in a few places that we have major problems with.
We found obstructions on Route 9 and on West Market Street again last week. And we're waiting to see what happens now. I mean, they were cleaned out.
That's what we cleaned both of these spots out with the.
We did,
with the
but-
rental truck, the rental thing?
Yes,
that
but we also we thought we had it cleaned last year, the one that goes
Right,
behind
and
it.
then it got clogged in.
But because it didn't flood during Hurricane Irene, but
The
then
one
it
on
flooded
Route
again
9,
this year.
Mike came in my office last week with a 5-gallon bucket. And there were rags, sticks, animal bones, soda bottles, I mean, all kinds of stuff that washed into the pipe.
Yeah.
And once a stick gets in there sideways or whatever, and it just backs everything up. So we won't know what the long-term effect is until we get this rain that Howie's asking for.
And this camera is going to be done as a demonstration project for free from this company that we rented the truck from. We just want to get a few department heads there. We asked Red Hook if they want to come and look, because what they do is they sell these cameras. So that it's a sales pitch, basically, they're going to do for free. But we're going to try to find the obstructions. They know we have obstructions in these areas. We're not trying to hide anything from them. They know, so everything's out in the open with them.
Okay? Planning and zoning.
I don't really have anything. You touched on the one big issue with the department store. If you've read Bob's report to the planning board and to us, you see that there's a lot of things going on. We're very busy. There's busier than usual. There's a lot of construction going on, a lot of new businesses coming in, a lot of new restaurants, a lot of new bars opening up. So there's a lot happening in this village. So the economy may be hurting other places, but in our little village, things seem to be hopping, and it's keeping the planning board and the zoning board and the whole planning office busier than usual. But so far, so good. Does anybody have any questions about anything in particular?
Are we going to talk about the Market Street sign tonight, or?
I wasn't, because this is really, has to go to the zoning board first.
Okay.
And they haven't met about this. Their meeting was canceled because of that thunderstorm we had. And until they review it, I don't think it really pays for us to enter into that discussion.
Okay.
So they can't get a CO until that's resolved?
Can't put a sign up.
No, it's just the
They
sign
just can't put a
issue.
sign up.
Okay.
They finished the sidewalk.
I think they have a CO. I think they're working in there now. I think they had an unofficial opening a few days ago. No sign, though. There is no sign.
Yeah, there's no sign here. Sidewalk's fixed, though.
Sidewalk's fixed. Looks really nice.
Yeah.
They did a nice job.
Happened quick.
Yep.
Yeah. Happened overnight, basically. They were working on it at night.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they did it quick.
Yeah.
No, they did it quick. Looks good. Looks good. I mean, while we're talking about sidewalks, we do need to follow up on the Foster sidewalk. Can you talk to
Yeah.
Foster's and see if they're willing to work with us on that? Because they're now connected to a nice sidewalk that, I think theirs is probably the worst sidewalk left in the
Well, a
village.
lot of that is tree damage, too, so we have to...
Yeah, I looked at it again today. I don't think it's all tree damage, but
No,
a lot
not
of
all
it
of
is. Yeah. If we could get them
Quite
on
a bit of
board,
it is tree damage.
Yeah, it is.
if we could get them on board in the same spirit as the other property owners have joined us, that would be great. And you've talked to the owner of the property down the street there?
I saw him, and I mentioned that he and Wayne and I would be getting together with him.
Okay.
He wants to have the conversation, so.
Okay. All right.
Okay? Police and court. Everybody has the incident report? Any questions? call volume's up. Rhinebeck's busy in lots of ways. But, Pete and the guys are doing a fantastic job. Last month we had passed the amendment to the law about the farmer's market parking lot, and the signs were installed last week. And glad to report, the last 2 Sundays I've been in the village early in the morning, there haven't been any cars parked there. So let's hope that we're not going to have any more issues over there. The vehicle and traffic amendment, as far as no parking here at corner signs, as I mentioned earlier, Pat had just gotten the minutes for that meeting completed today. I saw that they were in my folder. That's got the details from when we passed those resolutions, so now I can do the submission to DOT. And DOT should, in a short period of time, give us the permission to go ahead and put the rest of those signs in. Any questions? Police station?
Okay, last Wednesday, August 9th, we had the bid opening for the new village police station. And the low bidders, there was actually 4 different categories which were specified. One was general construction, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. The low bidders for general construction were Meyer Construction at Wappingers Falls. The plumbing low bidder was Ackerman Plumbing. The HVAC low bidder was Dutchess Mechanical Incorporated, and the electrical low bidder was Aris Electronics. Our architectural firm has reviewed all of the bids, the low bids, and has been in contact with each of the low bidders to confirm the bid accuracy and the conformance to the contract documents. And based on his interview with each of the low bidders, our architectural firms find that there's no apparent reason to believe that these contractors will not be responsible in performing the contractually required services, and as such has recommended that the board award each of the 4 companies the low bid job, So considering the fact that our architect has interviewed these folks and reviewed each of the contract or the bids, I see no real reason why we should not go forward. So I would like to make a motion that we award the bids to the 4 low bidders pertinent to our architect's recommendation, and that we go forward with the process.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Rich, can we do this without having the financing lined up? We're still shopping the bond rate.
Authorization for the financing is just finalizing at this point. By the time we get the contracts in place,
Okay.
bids have to sell for 45 days. You can award the contracts now.
I would just like to make mention that this project actually came in under our projected budget by $35,550. So we're very pleased with the way it came in. I would personally like to thank Phil Zemke from Rhinebeck Architecture and Planning for all the work he's done with us on this. This has been a very lengthy process, and he's been right there with us all the way, and just want to say thanks to him for all his work. Any other discussion?
When do we anticipate they would start construction there?
Well, by the time we get the contracts,
And notice, it's going to take a little while just to get the contracts all signed. They want to start as soon as possible.
Which means in a couple of months or a couple of weeks?
no, I'd say we're looking at a month
Okay.
at minimum.
And completion.
We're probably looking at October.
Okay.
Completion by February, early March.
Excellent.
Did we say what the amount is?
Well, the low bid for the construction was $537,000 was the base bid. The alternate, which is the garage, was $45,700. The plumbing base bid was $52,550, and the alternate for the garage was $600. The HVAC was $69,100, the alternate $1,800, and the electrical was $51,700, and $1,000 for the alternate for a total, including the base bid and the garage, which we are going forward with, the total bid came in at $759,450. And we had a construction budget prior to going out to bid of $795,000, and that's what we based our bonding on. And so we came in pretty much right where we needed to be. So we're very pleased about that. And we have some incidental costs, obviously, that we are going to be responsible for. So I think the $900,000 bond, we're going to be right on target. We'll be in good shape.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? So voted. Wayne, thank you.
Pleasure.
Rich, we're also going to need that septic easement pretty soon, if we call it. Yeah, I thought it was good. And then we're going to need we have a bid on construction contract administration services, but we could look that over and vote on that next month, if you want.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I had misfiled something in my stack of papers here. I had one more thing under police. I had mentioned to you guys a while back, Pat Hastings had resigned as an officer in the Rhinebeck Police Department, but was willing to stay on for special events. But in order to do that, we had to discuss this issue with the union. And there's a memorandum of understanding here between would be with the village and the union. And the police union has no problem with it, and what it allows for is I'll read it to you. Whereas the UPSEU and the village wish to modify the collective bargaining agreement, Article 2 work schedule, and add new section D. And it states, whereas the parties wish to continue a cooperative and harmonious labor management relationship, now therefore the parties agree as follow. The entire CBA will remain in full force except as modified below. Article 2D is added as follows. The village may employ per diem officers to be used only on special events and not on patrol or investigations or any other duties currently done by bargaining unit members, and only after all members of the bargaining unit have been given the opportunity to work the special event. And the special events are as follows: Memorial Day Parade, Dutchess County Fair, Mad Dash, Running Away Marathon, Halloween Parade, Santa Claus, Chamber of Commerce tree lighting, and they had failed to include the turkey trot, Thanksgiving Day turkey trot, so I added that, and Jack is in agreement. So as long as the board's in agreement with this, then I will go to Stu Waxman and make sure he doesn't have any issues with it. So I guess what I'm looking for is a motion to approve with the conditions that Stu Waxman gives the approval.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Can I just ask, is Santa Claus on the list?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. That just gives Pete the flexibility of bringing an extra person in when he needs them for those large-scale events. Okay, dog report for July. We had a dog running at large, and Rhinebeck Police had called the dog warden, and he went and picked the dog up. And owner came and claimed the dog, and there was a $20 fee to redeem the dog. License is on file in the town hall. No other charges were made. No other problems in the village at this time. Committee reports, tree commission. Howie?
Yes. First, I'd like to say that Cecily Frazier, our chairwoman, is going to be out for a couple of months. She's having an operation, and she's going to be laid up. She's going to be okay, though. So Meg Crawford is going to be presiding over the meetings. We wish Cecily a quick recovery.
Yes, we do.
There was only one request for pruning at last month's meeting, no takedowns requested. But the tree commission would like to go back to the person and ask why they want it pruned. They don't know, they don't understand why the tree has to be pruned. It doesn't look dead, or there's no dead limbs on it. Yes, Gail? Oh, okay. Let's see what else here. Tree removal, 12 trees were removed at a reasonable cost of $9,300. That was the bid we put out. That was Dave's Tree Service.
Without incident.
Without incident. One thing, Nicholas Doyle, a tree commission member, has resigned because he has a lot of work to do. He works in Connecticut and Massachusetts, pruning trees, and he just can't make it to our tree meetings. And with regret, he has resigned, so we're looking for another member. And at present, possible replacements for Nick are John Weschler, Tess McClellan, or Brian, who is a new resident that spoke with Jason, who's also on the tree commission.
Well, Tess was already a member.
Well, she's not a voting member. But John Weschler has written to the board. I'll give you guys a copy of this. He's very interested. But my question is, do we advertise for this position, and how do we advertise for it? And
Yeah, we could make public notification, we're looking for volunteers for an opening on the tree commission.
okay, do that on the website.
Yep.
Okay.
Website, flyers, and newspaper.
So there's an opening on the tree commission. If anybody would like to apply, come into the village office, please. And another request from the tree commission to the village board is that the tree commission members, either themselves or we can deputize citizen pruners to work on trees within the right-of-way to cut back trees that are in the way of sidewalks mainly.
That's a street department issue. It's in the right of way.
I was thinking that the last meeting we had, we talked about this, and we decided that requests for pruning would be sent to the highway department, and the highway department would get to them as they could.
Okay.
And that would take the tree commission out of it. They would just identify the needs, and didn't we talk about this in the last
Yeah.
meeting?
Yeah, we did, but it was brought up again.
Yeah, it's a street department issue.
Okay.
And there doesn't need to be a permit. If it's in that right of way and it's causing
Right.
an inconvenience, the street department has the authority to go in and do it.
Okay. And the tree commission will have a booth at the farmer's market on September 2nd. Cynthia and John will man the booth and will be there to give out educational material. And I'd like to announce that on November 3rd, we'll have our fall tree planting of around 20 trees, and we'd like to have some of you volunteer to help us. November 3rd, Saturday. And that's it for the tree commission.
I had a question about one of the notes here. Let's see. The Rinaldi property, the 3 trees there, where are they going to be planted?
They're going to be planted on the Livingston Street side.
So they're going to be they're going to be street trees?
Yeah, street trees.
Okay. And, this is Stortini. Are they looking for street tree locations for these extra trees? Is that the idea
Well,
there?
Jim pointed out to me that in the planning, the
Site plan.
site plan, that it was recommended that trees be planted. Upon looking up the site plan, there's no specific areas for trees to be planted. It's just recommended that they be planted 30 feet apart. This was back in 2001, the site plan that John Clark had recommended that trees be planted 30 feet apart, but there's no specific areas in that.
There's nothing located on the map?
No, no.
It was supposed to be 2 per lot.
I just gave the site plan back to, what's her name today?
Karen?
Karen, yeah. There's no landscape plan for that development.
Well, the tree commission can make recommendations as to where they go, right?
Right, but usually the site plan would have specific areas where,
Karen,
or
do
trees.
you know if Karen accessed the minutes or not? See if there was any mention of it in the minutes?
Yeah, I had all that, yes.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to go over there and take a look then.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
I only have one, so I could use another one.
Okay. But there's some areas that don't have any.
Just kidding.
But we'll look at your,
Draw straws.
yeah, we'll look at your property.
All right. That's it, Howie?
Yeah, that's it.
Website? Anybody got anything on the website? Fred had mentioned earlier tonight, before the meeting started, that these meetings can be put on the website. Fred can supply the meeting to Dick Wambach, and it can be put on the website. Yes?
So you can click on the website instead of going to pandatv.org.
What do you think?
Panda developing some kind of widget?
Put them on there?
Sure.
I thought Panda was developing some kind of widget that you could link to their video broadcast. Is that not?
I think that's what they're probably talking about. They provide you the HTML, you put it on, then it shows it on your website, but it's not streamed off per se. I think that's probably what they're talking about.
Fred, is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about connecting with Panda?
No, we're talking about putting it on YouTube and then download it from YouTube.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it, Fred.
Worldwide.
What's that?
World Wide Web.
Yeah.
There you go. All over the
I
world.
guess we're already on there anyway.
Future mayor. All right, finance and controls.
We're going to have a meeting in September. John Worth is out all month, and I was out most of last month. But we're talking about winding down the committee because we only have a couple of things left that we're working on, unless you guys have a burning desire to give us an assignment.
Doing one hell of a job.
It's just you and John Worth now, right?
No, Hines is on it.
Oh, Hines.
Not for long.
Yep,
Oh,
not
yeah,
for
that's
long.
right.
No, you can still be on it.
All right, other business, bank resolutions. This is a resolution to designate depository bank and required signatures. Who's going to make the motion?
So moved.
Trustee Reifenberg made a motion to adopt the following resolution, and this resolution was seconded by trustee.
Nuniker. Second.
Okay. Lisa, I'll give this to you. Village Board of Trustees for the Village of Rhinebeck hereby designate M&T Bank as the official depository bank for the Village of Rhinebeck. The Village Board of Trustees also resolved that 2 signatures are required for any withdrawals from any village account to an outside vendor, and that the 2 signatures must be any combination of signatures from the current village board members and the village clerk treasurer. Effective August 15, 2012, the following are the official designated signatures: Lisa Biscardi, James O. Reardon, Howard Trout, Wayne Reifenberg, Brant Nuniker, and Terry Gibson. All the board members present at the meeting, if we so vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. All the board members present at the meeting were in favor of the resolution. Thank you. Trustee appointment. Another sad turn of events. Deputy Mayor Reifenberg has sold his house in the village of Rhinebeck and is moving to the town of Rhinebeck, and thereby, by law, can no longer remain as a trustee on the village board. So he has tendered a letter of resignation effective August 31st of 2012. And law calls for a vacancy on the board to be filled by appointment of, the vacancy is filled by appointment by the mayor and has to be confirmed by the board. I gave a lot of thought to how this should happen. I had conversations with several of the board members. We are basically 6 months away from Wayne's term expiring. We've got a lot of projects in the works right now, and Wayne's been instrumental in a lot of these projects. He has volunteered to stay on and be the project manager for the completion of the police station. Thankfully, his knowledge and experience are going to be of great benefit to all of us seeing that project come to a successful conclusion. His responsibilities as trustee involve oversight of the water department and oversight of the fire department. So, of course, I have to consider how those positions would be filled whenever I make an appointment. Conversations along with the other board members. Two names have always come to the table. We have two gentlemen that have been highly involved on a volunteer basis and have been a tremendous asset to this board over the last several years. One of them is Heinz Sauer, who's sitting here tonight, and the other one, John Worth. Talked with my fellow board members, and both of them agreed that either one of those gentlemen would be a very good replacement. I called both of them into my office and had very frank discussions with them and explained the responsibilities of the job. I think they both are smart enough to know that there's a lot of work involved with it, but certainly neither one of them is afraid of tackling issues and working hard to get things accomplished. After having the conversations with both of them, and quite frankly, Heinz and John both said that they're willing to fill the position out, but they have no interest in pursuing the office again in an election in the spring. So it's basically temporary appointment. Somebody's going to have to run for a vacant office, which would be expiring in the spring anyway. John did say he's very, very busy at this time, and that if Heinz is willing to take the job on, that he would prefer that I appoint Heinz. And Heinz has very graciously decided that he would accept the appointment. So at this time, I am going to appoint Heinz Sauer as to fill the trustee position due to the vacancy of Wayne Reifenberg, effective September 1st, 2012. I need approval of the board. So that's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Heinz, we welcome you September 1st.
Thank you, Heinz.
As I stated before, Heinz has been heavily involved with this board over the last several years. I can't think of a better person actually to transition into this and transition into the job very quickly. He basically has attended every village board meeting we've had over the last 2.5 years, unless he was out of town on vacation. Religiously attends, he's involved, has helped us in a volunteer capacity with a multitude of projects. Evidence of a big project right here on the board. Has done a mapping of the entire infrastructure of the village of Rhinebeck on his own, along with, when I say on his own, no help from this board. He headed the project up and worked with the department heads of the highway department, the street department, the water department, the waste department, and has done a mapping of the entire infrastructure of the village of Rhinebeck. We know where our water lines are, we know where our storm drains are, we know where our storm drain lines hopefully flow to. We're still trying to figure some of that out. It's a big puzzle. But our wastewater infrastructure. So, Heinz is going to transition into this job, especially with the water department, very easily, because he's been working hand in hand with those guys over the last 4 or 5 months. When it comes to the fire department, that was another problem, and Heinz admittedly said that, he didn't think it was a good fit for him. He really didn't know anything about it. I am going to assume the duties of the fire department in the meantime. Certainly, I can rely upon Wayne for his knowledge base. I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy. I mean, I know about equipment and those types of things. I'm not a firefighter, so I don't understand firefighting. But, I think for the next 6 months, I can probably handle the responsibilities of being the liaison to the fire department and know that I can turn to Wayne for advice if I need it. So this should be a very smooth transition. I'm excited to have Heinz join us, and I know he's going to be a tremendous asset to us, and I thank you for being willing to step up to the table.
Can I just
Go ahead.
thank Wayne for service? To me at least, you've been a real rock on this board that we've all leaned on from time to time, and it's been a real honor to serve with you, and you're going to be missed big time. I'm really sorry to see you go.
He's
But
not going away yet.
I hope you enjoy your new home in the town of Rhinebeck.
It's been an honor and a privilege to serve with all of you. I tell you, the last 3.5 years have been an extremely rewarding experience for me. The camaraderie on this board and the spirit that has been displayed in regard to making decisions for the best possible result for our community has been, I think, very evident. And it's a testament to the people that are here. And our staff that we have in our village. Gail, our department heads, our volunteer fire service. It's just been, it's been a great experience. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
I make the comment all the time that, we sit in these chairs up here, and there's only one thing that drives us, and that's working for the betterment of our community. We've been given a gift. This is a special, special place to be able to live, to work, to play. And the job is easy when you have guys like this sitting alongside you. We butt heads once in a while, and we don't always agree, but we always can agree to disagree. And we've always been able to put any type of personal difference on something aside and address the needs of the community. And, I say it all the time, our track record speaks for itself. And it's all been about getting the job done. And without him, and without him, and without him, and without him, I would have a very difficult job. But because of those four guys, I have a very easy job. And because of the people like Lisa and Gail and Pat and Karen and Gary Keeler and Bob Fennell and the planning board and the zoning board and Heinz and Clara, Gary Kenton and Jeff and all these people that volunteer to help us, we as a team make this community better. And that's what it's all about. So thanks to everybody.
Wayne, I'd like to give you a gift, going away present. Here's a ticket to the Dutchess County Fair.
Thanks, Al.
You're welcome. Enjoy. Since you're not going to be living next door anymore, you can...
All right. I still know where the hole in the fence is.
Okay. Correspondence. First one I have, July 20th, from Paws Dog Boutique. Everybody got that one?
Yep.
Got a lot of correspondence here.
You got it, Hal?
Probably in here somewhere. I'll read yours, Brian.
No, I just read it.
Paws Dog Boutique apparently has been holding some type of a, they call it the Halloween costume parade and festivities. And according to the letter, it's a benefit event for local animal advocacy and rescue efforts. And this is their fourth annual. Each year, they've had an increasing number of participants, with over 50 local businesses participating last year. Overall, more than 70 businesses from across the county are involved in this event in some way. Encompasses a number of activities: a costume parade. Parade route starts in Montgomery Road parking lot, goes down Garden Street, on to West Market Street, goes through the traffic light to the CVS, turns around and heads back to the light, turns right on Route 9, ends back in Montgomery Row. We have always marched on the sidewalks, but have had trouble crossing the streets with a large volume of people, including dogs and small children. In the past, parade participants have followed traffic directions from volunteers who have adhered to light changes and crosswalks. As you can imagine, this is stressful for the event organizers, volunteers, and marchers. Parade usually lasts for about 30 minutes, depending upon the number of participants. Due to the increase in the number of people and dogs participating in this benefit event, we'd like to request permission to close roads for the event and for the village police to be able to assist with the parade. Ideally, we would like the roads to be closed so that we can encourage even more spectators to attend and for dog safety overall. If closing the road is not an option, we would still like to request police assistance to assure the safety of our parade participants. Fourth annual Halloween costume parade scheduled to take place 12:45 to 1:15 on Saturday, October 27, 2012, with a rain date of October 28th. If you have any suggestions as to how we can make our parade a safe, successful, and enjoyable event, please contact us. Laura Betty, owner of the Paws Dog Boutique. Comments?
Has Peter been in,
Pete's looked at it.
and does he have any input or comment?
You know, he has concerns about closing Route 9 down for a half an hour, of course.
Yeah.
My overriding concern on this is a private business that's staging this event. It's not a not-for-profit group. This event by this private group then must disperse money to not-for-profits. But I don't know if it's appropriate for us to expend taxpayer dollars and provide police coverage for something that benefits a private business. We have no control over what they do with the funds.
So are you saying that, that Paws Dog Boutique actually financially benefits from this function?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so
I'm saying they're the
trying
ones
to understand.
sponsoring the event and asking for the permission. And then they determine what they're going to do with the money.
There's an entry fee to enter the parade, is that how it works?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well, if that's the case.
There's no details here.
Is that a fact?
Yes, that's the money that's donated to whatever charity she is.
You should have had the senior folder as well. This is just that you know what she said.
So there's an entry fee, and the money that they raise goes to a charity.
Depends, it's going to the Russell Refuge, it's going to ASPCA. She's done it, I think, 3 years, and each year she picks a different one. I think last year she split the money between 2 places.
I think if Pete has a problem with closing the roads down, I think that's the main concern.
Well, they're willing to do it without closing the roads down, but they still would like police presence.
What's the route again?
It comes out of Montgomery Row, up Garden Street, makes a left-hand turn on West Market, goes through the red light to the CVS, turns around, comes back to the red light, makes a right and goes north on Route 9, back to Montgomery Row.
And what are the hours and date again?
It's saying 12:45 to 1:15 on Saturday for the Halloween costume parade, October 27th.
And the idea is to go through the village so that people can see the
Draw attention, I guess.
dog costumes. I mean, otherwise,
Yeah.
for them to do this at the fairgrounds, go around the track a couple of times, that's not going to be what they're trying to accomplish.
My other question is, do we, I don't have any kind of calendar in front of me, do we have other events happening in the village or near the village on that date?
I mean, we do have another Halloween parade.
Basically, we're tail end of the season. Sheep and wool's over with, half marathon's over with.
Actually, the American Legion Auxiliary has a Halloween parade, and last year it was on the same day as this.
So why couldn't they, I did read this, I just don't have it with me now, but why can't
I
they
mean,
be?
they're saying Saturday, that the Halloween parade is always on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I think last year, for some reason, it was the same day, which
Last
was a
year it didn't
little,
get rained out.
and maybe that's why they had
Last
it.
year it got rained out.
That could be.
Well, do you have your date set yet?
I think that's in here
I don't
too.
really have anything to do, this is the
It's the
Ladies
auxiliary
Auxiliary.
does that one.
So I would assume they have not.
Why can't they do it on the same day and have, the same time, the same parade? Why not? No, really,
What if-
you're having a kids' Halloween
What
parade.
if one of the children gets chased by the dog?
It's all about dogs and animals versus children in costumes.
No, but it kills two birds with one stone. You're having everybody, the streets are gonna be
Careful what you say
closed.
about killing birds.
Okay, sorry. The streets are gonna be closed already, so you have the two parades at once.
You're so flippant here.
Parking lot on Montgomery Road for
Might as well do Super Claus the same day.
Memorial Day Parade,
Let's have them all one day.
I kind of agree with Jimmy on this. I mean, if this is a private scenario and funds are going to be asked to be, if there's an entry fee, I have a difficult scenario utilizing our police force and taxpayer money. Although this is going to a charitable event, I mean, we have no control over that funding at all.
You know, typically, when we do like the Mad Dash and we do the Turkey Trot, the Memorial Day Parade, and that's not even a fundraiser, but it's always a charitable organization that's asking for our assistance. That is some type of a 501 organization. Here, we're not dealing with a 501 organization. We're dealing with a private business. And then it's up to them to disperse the funds they raise, how they see fit. And I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. I have an issue with the fact that we're taking taxpayer dollars and expending it for a private business.
Were the police involved in the years past at all in this scenario? No? Okay.
I guess I would rather see it on the sidewalk and not have a road closure, and if the police could just check in on them, but not really be monitoring the situation. And definitely not the day that we're having the other Halloween parade.
Well, we have this request here, so.
Right.
So we're going to send this back then to that regard?
I would wonder if we should also, when we send it back, offer, is Crystal Lake Park an option for them to use? That's a big open space that never gets used for anything.
I think they want to parade their
Right, I
dogs in
understand.
front of people.
I understand.
That's what they want to do.
Right. I understand.
And if you're down there at Crystal Lake,
Right,
it's not the same
it's
effect.
a different thing.
Yeah.
What's typically done in events like this is that there's a charge to the organization for the police presence. So you can just go back and say, it's 4 hours or 5 hours and just charge them for it. It's pretty simple.
Can we do that without an ordinance, though? Without that in an ordinance?
Rich, can we charge for police coverage?
Well, you can bill for the village's time, but I think that what you're doing is you're setting your parameters here. This board has already talked in the past about for-profits versus non-profits, and I think you're setting a precedent at that point. So I think the board is consistent in its view that all non-profits you've been working with, for-profit entities, you just don't treat them the same way.
I guess I don't know why they would need a police presence.
Well, apparently it's becoming so popular that they're crossing streets, they have animals and children, and at some point, there's a safety issue. That's my concern, is if by not somehow working with them and they continue to just do it on the sidewalks without any assistance, are we opening ourselves up to be liable for any accident that might happen?
It's their choice.
Well, and they said presence, which doesn't necessarily mean
Right.
that, close monitoring or anything like that. Just-
Well, they would have to adhere to traffic lights and
Right.
things of that sort, obviously.
The board is not sanctioning the parade.
Right.
We do have 2 crosswalks now. Well, we have more than that. We have 2 really well-marked crosswalks now. Just out of curiosity, let's just say that they move forward and do this as they've done in the past, and it's bigger than it's been in the past, and you have a situation where they decide to use one of our crosswalks, and all these people are going across the crosswalk, and that basically shuts down the road for 10 minutes. Is this a scenario that could realistically happen?
Doesn't matter where the crosswalk is, they could do it right at the red light too.
Right.
Yeah, but they have to adhere to traffic signals at the red light,
That's true.
where on the crosswalk they don't.
Like if they,
People don't
Right.
watch that hand.
Yeah.
I
All the time,
understand.
they walk out in front of that hand.
I understand if they decided to cross in front of Terrapin, in front of
Pedestrians always got the
CVS,
right of way.
Yeah.
we may have a improvised parade on our hands.
Don't mention it again.
Okay. This is not the worst thing. All right.
I am sensing that we're not going to approve this. Yes?
I don't, we can't say that they can't have one on the sidewalk, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're just not going to provide for any police coverage for this.
Right, okay. yeah.
Correct? Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have, Lisa, you got a copy of this?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
In here.
You make notification?
But we can't notify the police force that this is happening, so they're at least aware of it.
Yeah.
Correct, okay.
Pete's aware. Okay. Next one, July 23rd. Rhinebeck Area Chamber of Commerce, Deer Village Board, please find attached an application for license for a sidewalk sale for the proposed dates of August 17th through 19th, as well as a list of village merchants' participation. We ask for rain dates of August 24th, 26th to be approved. Thank you in advance for your consideration. I did discuss this with Pete because their rain date does fall on Fair Weekend, and asked Pete if he had any concerns regarding that, and he said no, not really, because it is on the sidewalk, and if anything, probably because of fair traffic, it would lead to less people being in the village. So, I'll make a motion to approve sidewalk sale, 17th, 19th, rain dates, August 24th, 26th. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Mad Dash, received July 23rd. Requesting their annual for Labor Day, September 3rd. Proceeds from the runners and fees and sponsors fees are 100% distributed to various charities, community outreach programs, raised over $11,000 last year. They have assistance coming from New York State troopers and from Rhinebeck Police Department, and they are requesting our help between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., Route 9 in Montgomery and Chestnut, Mount Rutson and River Road. As I said, this is their annual. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Woodstock Film Festival. Everybody saw the correspondence on that? Right?
Yeah.
Pete has worked out all the details with them, so he's good to go with it. So I'm making a motion to approve that one.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Anything else? I just got that. I didn't even get a chance to read it.
This is nothing.
That one I didn't see. What is this? They asking for something?
It's just, that they had done an inspection of the, not Thompson Mazzarella Park. It's basically just an informative thing. It's nothing really we need to deal with.
Okay, it doesn't require any action?
No.
Okay. Any other correspondence? No, that's a planning board and zoning board issue. That just came today, that doesn't require any action. You guys got anything else, correspondence? No? All right, water and sewer adjustments. We got anything, Lisa? You want to do it? Don't know what to do?
We got a,
We didn't went over that one yet.
okay, we got an error in billing. We got a $1,189 credit. Another error in billing of $63.55, and an adjustment to a bill due to a billing error of $10.91. I make a motion that we approve the adjustments as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Minutes, July 19th. Special meeting of the village board. Any additions, omissions, or corrections?
I make a motion to approve them as written.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? So voted. Do we need an executive session? Okay.
I mean, I don't have any issues with
All right. Well, you got issues, you just don't have any executive sessions.
Are we gonna approve these or no?
I didn't even get a chance to read them. Just got them today.
Okay.
All right, sure can.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to ask about this.
You gotta speak in front of the microphone, Victoria. You're supposed to mention your name every time, too.
But
She must be a lawyer.
South Street and Parsonage, I'm sure I'm not the first to bring this up, but that intersection can be dangerous. That's the one where there's a two-way stop, but then a two-way nonstop.
You're talking the blinking light.
Yeah, with the blinking light. And I was thinking maybe just a sign that says north and southbound traffic doesn't stop would at least alert people that are at the stop signs that they have to wait for the other cars to go past. Because what I see a lot is that one car stopped, one car's approaching, and the stopped car assumes the other car is going to stop, and then they, dart out. So just something to look into,
Okay. We've had this issue come to us before,
I'm sure.
and believe it or not, very few accidents at that intersection.
It's
We go back and
surprising.
check the records, and Sergeant Dunn can confirm that we have very little trouble there.
Well, I'm not
to
asking for
say
a
that-
stop sign, just
Not to say
just
that
for
there
a-
isn't an
a
occasional...
directional sign.
Yeah.
Especially when there's big weekends with a lot of out-of-towners. I mean, everyone that lives in the area knows.
The reason that there's a blinking light is because of the school bus traffic in the morning.
Yes, I'm
If there was a
aware.
stoplight, it would cause a big problem.
Right.
But no, we'll certainly take your recommendation under advisement.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
All right.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you, everybody, for coming.